Hello Moto GP enthusiasts. Welcome back to ZNGP Today. Aprilia is being linked with Pecco Bagnaia as part of a wider reshuffle that could reshape the grid for 2027. Massimo Rivola's public comments about the benefits of change, plus Aprilia's recent success in revitalizing riders, have fueled speculation that the Noale factory could be a landing spot for Bagnaia, a move with clear sporting and strategic consequences. Pedro Acosta and the shifting early form of 2026 have prompted comparisons to historic garage pairings, with pundits suggesting a young, hungry teammate can reawaken a veteran's edge. Livio Suppo frames the season as a period of readjustment rather than collapse, highlighting Aprilia's rise, Ducati's inconsistency, and the catalytic effect a fast rookie can have on an established champion. Doohan has offered one of the most compelling endorsements of Marquez's resilience, describing his return from injury as incredible, and positioning him as a candidate for the prestigious Laureus Award. At the same time, Doohan's analysis of the early 2026 season paints a picture of a championship in flux, Aprilia's rise, Ducati's inconsistencies, and the emergence of new contenders have created a grid without a clear hegemon. Marquez used the Easter break to combine recovery, family time, and targeted on-track training as he prepares for her race. The Spaniard rejects retirement speculation, stresses his ongoing ambition, and frames the immediate challenge as physical recovery and regaining race feel ahead of the European swing. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. The 2027 transfer window is already producing high-impact moves. Reports suggest a multi-season agreement between Bagnaia and Aprilia, structured with stronger guarantees in the first 2 years and performance reviews thereafter. That timing aligns with Ducati's own renewal plans and the broader dominoes triggered by the 850 cubic centimeters regulation change. Big moves often reflect both performance cycles and commercial calculations tied to regulation resets. Massimo Rivola framed change as constructive. Changes can be beneficial. His comments are deliberately broad but serve two purposes. They position Aprilia as an attractive environment for riders seeking a fresh start, and they normalize the idea of recruiting established talent from rivals. Rivola's rhetoric supports a narrative that Aprilia can revitalize careers and extract new performance from experienced riders. Executive framing matters. Public openness to outsiders reduces friction when negotiations become public. Marco Bezzecchi's transformation at Aprilia is the factory's strongest argument. His rapid rise to multiple consecutive wins is presented internally as evidence that Aprilia can unlock a rider's potential through chassis balance, tire synergy, and team environment. That success story is the template Aprilia would point to when courting a rider like Bagnaia. Demonstrable past success with similar cases is a powerful recruitment tool. Jorge Martin's strong form and rumors linking him elsewhere complicate Aprilia's calculus. The factory must manage internal competition carefully to avoid destabilizing a title fight, while also protecting long-term interests. Bringing in Bagnaia would be a high-reward move but risks upsetting team dynamics and requires careful handling of contracts and rider roles. Teams must weigh immediate championship goals against future roster stability. For Bagnaia, a switch could offer a fresh technical environment and a chance to reset after a difficult GP25 period. For Aprilia, signing a two-time champion would boost credibility and provide a proven feedback source for the 850 cubic centimeters transition. However, success depends on fit, chassis characteristics, tire behavior under Pirelli, and the ability to integrate Bagnaia's riding style into Aprilia's development path. Rider transfers succeed when technical fit and team culture align, not just on reputation. The Bagnaia to Aprilia scenario is plausible and strategically coherent. Aprilia has both the recent track record and the public messaging to make such a move credible. The decision will hinge on contractual details, the Concord Agreement timetable, and whether both parties believe the technical fit will deliver results under the 2027 regulations. If confirmed, the transfer would be one of the season's most consequential moves, accelerating Aprilia's ambitions while forcing rivals to rethink their own line UPS and development priorities. The opening rounds have rewritten expectations. Aprilia's package is unexpectedly dominant, Marco Bezzecchi is in red-hot form, and Jorge Martin's comeback adds depth to the threat. Suppo credits Aprilia's management and structure for the step forward and treats the early results as strong indicators rather than definitive proof of a permanent hierarchy. Early flyaway races often skew perceptions, but Aprilia's consistency across riders is notable. Ducati shows speed but less of the weekend-to-weekend consistency that defined previous campaigns. Suppo rejects the idea that Marquez lacks motivation, instead pointing to lingering physical issues as the main limiter. The implication is clear: recovery, not attitude, is the priority for the 9-time champion. Physical readiness and confidence are tightly linked for elite riders. Both must be restored for peak performance. Suppo draws a parallel with the Rossi, Lorenzo era at Yamaha. Placing a fast, ambitious youngster alongside a legend can raise standards and force renewed focus. He argues that Acosta's presence could have a similar effect on Marquez, provoking a competitive spark and accelerating performance gains through intra-team benchmarking. Mentor plus rival dynamics often sharpen both riders, provided the team manages personalities and resources carefully. Acosta's talent is clear, but KTM's package and project limitations temper immediate expectations. Suppo notes the psychological toll of last year's contractual uncertainty on Acosta and suggests that a stable factory environment would unlock even more of his potential. A move to a top factory in 2027 would amplify the rejuvenation effect on any teammate. Rider development accelerates when machinery, support, and mental focus align. Suppo warns of broader technical risks, notably Yamaha's dual-track development strategy, which could dilute resources. He also reminds teams that improving an already strong bike risks unintended regressions, a cautionary note for manufacturers chasing marginal gains while managing rider line UPS. Technical complexity and split priorities can undermine short-term competitiveness even as they aim for long-term advantage. The 2026 season is shaping into a transitional chapter. Aprilia's surge, Ducati's search for consistency, and the rise of talents like Pedro Acosta create a volatile, high-stakes environment. If Acosta moves into a top factory and pairs with a veteran like Marc Marquez, the dynamic could mirror past mentor-rival pairings and inject fresh intensity into the title fight. The European rounds will reveal whether early trends hold or if development and recovery reshape the championship narrative. Doohan's admiration goes beyond lap times. He emphasized that Marquez's comeback is not just about results, but about the sheer determination to return after years of physical setbacks. For Doohan, this is the essence of sporting greatness, the ability to endure adversity and still chase dominance. His backing for Marquez in the Laureus Award race underscores the idea that MotoGP's narratives resonate far beyond motorsport. The way he has been able to recover from his injury, it's incredible. Doohan highlighted the psychological toll of Marquez's journey. He spoke of dark days and self-doubt, emphasizing that the Spaniard's ability to maintain focus and rebuild confidence is as impressive as his physical recovery. For Doohan, this mental fortitude defines a champion more than any single victory. Doohan sees 2026 as one of the most open seasons in years. Aprilia's surge has disrupted Ducati's expected dominance, but he raises a critical question: has Aprilia truly leapt forward, or has Ducati lost ground? This uncertainty reflects the fine margins of MotoGP development, where small missteps in evolution can erode a competitive edge. For Ducati, answering whether the problem lies in rivals' progress or internal stagnation will shape their technical strategy for the 850cc era. Doohan singled out Jorge Martin as a serious title contender, praising his grounded personality and blistering pace, while joking that he needs to practice his celebrations. He also lauded Marco Bezzecchi, whose form has made Aprilia the benchmark, and pointed to Pedro Acosta as the standout of the younger generation. Acosta's rise, he suggested, will define the medium-term future of Moto GP. The blend of established champions and rising stars is widening the competitive field, making the championship less predictable and more dynamic. Doohan raised a sharp technical concern: if VR46 satellite Ducatis are outperforming the factory bikes, who is truly leading development? This question touches on resource allocation, engineering leadership, and the risk of misalignment between factory priorities and satellite execution. Doohan frames 2026 as a transitional season rich in narrative. Marquez's comeback is both a human triumph and a sporting highlight. Aprilia's rise has reshaped expectations, and Ducati faces uncomfortable questions about consistency and development leadership. With Martin, Bezzecchi, and Acosta all emerging as genuine threats, the championship feels more open than at any point in recent memory. The European rounds will be decisive in clarifying whether Aprilia's dominance is structural, whether Ducati can recover stability, and whether Marquez's resilience can translate into sustained competitiveness. For now, MotoGP is defined less by certainty than by compelling stories, and Marquez's comeback remains the most powerful of them all. Marquez spent part of the break at Motorland Aragon riding a Panigale V2 and doing kart track drills to rebuild tarmac confidence. The session was practical rather than headline-seeking, sharpening lines, testing braking and rebuilding race rhythm in a controlled environment. Circuit-specific training helps riders translate fitness into usable bike feel faster than generic gym work alone. The rider still carries a visible reminder of Austin, a bandaged right forearm from a deep hematoma sustained in FP1. That injury affects strength and endurance, and remains the primary limiter to his early season form. Marquez and his team are managing rehabilitation while balancing on-bike preparation. Forearm and shoulder issues directly impact braking strength and stamina, critical factors over race distance. After 3 rounds, Marquez trails the championship leader by a significant margin and has produced mixed results, including a sprint win in Brazil but otherwise inconsistent weekends. Aprilia's strong start has reshaped expectations and increased the urgency for a mid-season turnaround. Early deficits can be recovered with targeted gains, but the European rounds are the decisive phase for championship momentum. Marquez emphasizes that his ambition remains intact. "I'm eager to do better." He frames recent years as a learning curve that has shifted his approach from instinctive aggression to a more measured balance of performance and body management. The Laureus nomination and the emotional memory of his 2025 title underline the broader significance of his comeback. Publicly acknowledging limits while asserting ambition is a common strategy to manage expectations and maintain team morale. Jerez is positioned as the first major opportunity to convert recovery work into competitive gains. Historically favorable to Marquez, the Andalusian circuit offers a chance to improve early race feel, test race distance durability, and close the points gap. How he performs there will shape both short-term tactics and longer-term contract and development conversations. A strong Jerez would quiet retirement talk and reframe Marquez as a returning contender. A poor weekend would intensify scrutiny over fitness and future plans. Marquez rejects retirement rumors and is focused on a pragmatic recovery plan, targeted on-bike training, medical management, and a clear objective to arrive at Jerez fitter and more competitive. The coming European rounds will determine whether his rehabilitation translates into restored race pace and consistency. But his public stance is clear. He remains motivated and intent on improving. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!